Yeah, Keenan, Allie, that's right. We've been talking about this effort for months now, and that decision that you mentioned, will the Bandshell find new life and new purpose here at Palmer Park, not far from its current location, about a mile and a half down Woodward? Of course, we're talking about the historic old Michigan State Fairgrounds, which right now construction is underway there, turning it into a massive distribution site for Amazon.
What we would like to do, given that it's in a public park, is really utilize the structure for family-friendly type events.
That was Rochelle Lento, president of People for Palmer Park, back in March, shortly after Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan announced this beloved bandshell would be spared from demolition, as long as the community agreed on a proper new home for it. Tonight's meeting is expected to determine if the bandshell gets the final stamp of approval to move to Palmer Park and be used as a family-oriented performing arts center, tucked behind DPD's 12th precinct in an area that used to be a golf course. The city and people affiliated with the park looking for input from people who live nearby.
I think it would draw people in, and then we can even have concerts in the park.
It's a peaceful place, and that I think that would just bring a lot of noise and confusion.
When it sat for decades at the old state fairgrounds, its stage was graced by music icons like Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, and Three Dog Night, to name a few. But the music stopped in 2009, and the structure sat unused. When the city sold the fairgrounds property for development into an Amazon distribution center, which in turn will also pay for a new public transportation hub there, the future of the bandshell hung in limbo. In addition to a virtual petition, District 2 City Councilman Roy McAllister Jr. also pushed to save it. For many, Palmer Park seems like a fitting new location, not far from its original home. In recent months, we've seen the structure's careful disassembly, the city saying the goal would be to move the bandshell by fall. Ideas for its encore, live performances from DSO, outdoor plays, or even movies in the park. Now, as you heard, there is some concern about noise. People who live in and around Palmer Park worried about the relocation impacting their day-to-day life. But Lento says any events held here at the bandshell, if in fact it were to be moved here to Palmer Park, they would have to be wrapped up by 10 o'clock because that is when the park closes. Again, the noise complaint, that issue likely to be discussed further in detail tonight. We want to put the information up on the screen for you. This is where and when the meeting is happening. It's tonight at 6:30, led by the city at Detroit Unity Temple. That's on 2nd Avenue, just across from Palmer Park. And again, there's kind of two schools of thought here. You have the people who really want to see this historic structure breathe new life, and then you have the people who are a little bit of concerned what the noise might mean for them. So obviously much more to come on this story. We'll stay on top of it for you. We're live in Palmer Park this morning. Jen Shantz, 7 Action News.